It's AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not. Oh, 1 2 1 2. Fabian perspective, expected, so accepted. Deja un like, comentario y suscribe. Hold on. Hit the lights. We in a mix. Kyrie Irving with a crazy jumper to win the game. You know, I got Dallas coming out west. Luka and them boys had me worried for a second. They just beat the champs on the Kyrie game winner. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Knicks. The Knicks. What's up, Twitter world, YouTube world? We in the mix with the Knicks. AllBall be here shortly. Other guests shall arrive. The Knicks. The Knicks. That song is corny, by the way. We are the New York Knicks. We got to get rid of that, man. Trash. Trashola. The Knicks coming off a win versus the Sacramento Kings, 98-91. Holding the Sacramento Kings to 91 points. That's what, 4 straight opponents? Under 91. The big story. Jalen Brunson back-to-back 40-point games. It's the first back-to-back 40-point game from a New York Knick in 10 years since Mr. Carmelo Anthony years ago. 2 friends of mine. Showing my age there. Even though that was out before my time. Jalen Brunson back-to-back 40-point games. He looked marvelous out there against the Kings. They couldn't guard him. I want to get into some comments from the Kings. It's important that we do because everyone doubts us. Everyone says that we're bugging 1A. We've been talking about Isaiah Thomas for the whole entire season because of Jalen Brunson, because of Becky Hammond. Hey, girl. What's up, Becky? Right? And this is Isaiah Thomas-esque. His performance, the way he flat out went out there and just dismantled the Kings, kept them in the game. But you ain't got to hear it from me, man. You ain't got to hear it from me, Craig. Let's hear what De'Aaron Fox. He's the guy that you guys say you rather have over Brunson. We sure about that?
I think we did a great job. Obviously, you know, he shoots.
I don't like the sound coming out of this. What's going on here? Sound. Oh, okay.
17 for 20. You know, I mean, I think outside of JB, I think we did a great job. Obviously, you know, he shoots 17 for 28. I don't know what that is, like 60-something%. We still hold that team to 43%. So, like, outside of him, we did a great job. But I mean, he had almost half of their points, so we have to do a better job of guarding their star player. But other than that, man, I think we did a decent job, and he also made some difficult shots as well. But I think as a whole, defensively, I would say we did a pretty good job. Offensively, I mean, we shot 35-27. We have to be better on the offensive end. Not many games you're going to win shooting that lower percentages.
You see there, they're saying we did a pretty good job of defending Jalen Brunson. We have blah, blah, blah. You can't guard him. You can't guard him. How about that? Got to double him up, make sure he gets the ball out of his hands. And see, since he doesn't have 1A, you guys always talk about. you guys think that, we just saw what happened with Kyrie and Luka Doncic out there. It would be easier for Brunson's former partner. That's who it is. All we live.
Yo, what's the deal? Big Flea in the building.
Golden State is next. Big Nick, New York Knick energy. CW Flash. And you got the Avatar match.
Big shout out CW Flash. What's good, Fabian?
Chilling, man. As soon as Flea comes in, the numbers just spike up. How did that happen? What's your alpha mega? I don't want to open any gang sign. The wrong gang sign to get shot on.
Don't play. I'm
not doing it.
Don't play.
I'm too old, man. My knee, my left. Just now, I got up from my seat. I went, oh. If I would have been live, you guys would have been like, yo.
You guys keep telling you got to stretch. You got to add another day of walking on a treadmill per week. Got to add a day.
Dr. Flea. We are talking about the back-to-back 40 piece. I don't know if you got to hear what De'Aaron Fox said, but he said we did everything right except guard Jalen Brunson. That was the only mishap that they had.
I heard.
And then, go ahead.
I heard what De'Aaron Fox said, and definitely heard what Mike Brown had to say. Mike Brown was absolutely almost at a loss for words for everything. He said this is the first time they've had to blitz a player from the first quarter.
Wait, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What did I do?
You can't just jump the gun like that, man. Not like that. Not like that. Are you crazy? Who do you think we have up here, man? Queued up. Thank you for the transition, my brother.
Absolutely, brother.
He's a hell of a player.
Can you hear this?
I don't know if Steph maybe.
Can you hear it?
Absolutely.
I don't know if we blitzed anybody as much as we did Jalen tonight. Tried to send two at him, and he still scored 42 points over. I think I'm doing my math right, but over 50% from the field. The rest of the team shot 34%, scored 56 points, and they shot 21% from the three. Jalen shot 50% from the three and over 50% from the field. And we sent the double team at him every single time he came off the pick and roll in the second half and most of the time, and not probably half the time or so in the first half. He's a hell of a player. Big game. He stepped up and he really helped them get it done tonight. And I mean, Brunson, he's a hell of a player, you know. And, we can clean up with him, but man, he's a hell of a player.
Come on, man.
Just Knicks. Big shout out.
Come on, man. Just Knicks was going on. CW Flash. They had no answer for Brunson. Oh, wait. Yo. That's not to me. Okay, that's maybe I should save. No, I'll save the Malik Monk comment for later because that fits in more for the later topic. This is after I said, you know what, OG Anunoby is the most important player on the New York Knicks. I still stand by what I said, right? Because he brings the blitz and I'm a defensive guy. I'm a defensive dude always. Even though
OG had a rough night last night. That's okay. From the field. Like 1 for 8 from the field. It was like 0 for 3, 0 for 4 from 3. He had a rough night last night. But he did everything we needed him to do on the other side of the ball, which you love.
Becky Hammond. Hey, girl.
How you doing?
We need a song like, how you doing? Are you kidding me? Listen. You guys are going to start eating your words. She's the one out there, sat up there. You're like, well, you know, it's just other than Steph Curry, other than Isaiah Thomas, you know, blah, 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 blah. Who did Mike Brown compare Jalen Brunson to? This is your peer, Becky Hammond.
That evil laugh is crazy. We love it. We love it.
This is your peer, Becky Hammond. Like immediate peer. You got to sit down. Remember, what tree do they both fall under?
Pop.
Greg Popovich. Come on. You know Flea knows. You know Flea knows. You know who else knows? Becky Hammond.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Just incredible. What do you think about the game? Can we point to any flaws? Do you see what you didn't like before we get into what you love?
I still think down the stretch we're gonna still need Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle. Like I still think we're gonna still need to be fully healthy to make a real run at this. I think the New York Knicks need to be really, really applauded on not falling off the cliff, having our entire season bottom out once all these injuries hit. Like we really need to be applauded from the coaching staff to the front office to the fans, like to everybody that is a part of this New York Knicks basketball community, man. Like big shout out to us, man, because we didn't fold, we didn't falter, we didn't give up on the season. That could have easily been a scapegoat for us to say, you know what, the hell with this season. Everybody's hurt. What are we gonna do? And just start tanking and trying to get a high draft pick. No, we stuck with it. Guys that are like secondary, ancillary pieces really stepped up, and we will really be able to stay afloat. We look at ourselves in the standings right now, and we're the 4th seed right now. With the 4th seed, still missing an all-star level player, still missing Mitchell Robinson, but every guy on the roster from top to bottom, everybody has stepped up, including our coach. So last night was just indicative of who we are as a team this year. Every time there's a really, really big moment, we step up to that moment, and it's like, okay. We really could play with some of the elite level talent in the NBA. Sacramento Kings are no slouch. They're well coached. They have 2 really, really good players, 2 all-star level players, and then their pieces around them fit really well. This was a 3 seed last year we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So Sacramento is a really, really good team. De'Aaron Fox is no slouch. He's one of the best point guards in the league. So for Jalen Brunson, every time he goes up against one of these upper echelon point guards, the ones that get recognized, right? It looks like he takes this shit personal. He's like, it's like, yo, I'm going to show you exactly why I need to be in the same conversation as you. So just another masterclass. They threw everything at him last night. I saw De'Aaron Fox on him. I saw Davion Mitchell on him. I saw Malik Monk on him. I saw Keegan Murray on him. I saw number 23 for the Sacramento Kings. Excuse me, I'm not calling your name right now. I'm missing your name right now. Excuse me respectfully. But I've seen you on entirely too many lowlights since you've been getting some burn from Mike Brown. Whoever is number 23 on the Sacramento Kings has been on entirely too many lowlights, not highlights, lowlights. Every time I see him, the first time I saw him, he was scared to go. He was scared to go up on the rim against LeBron. He was like scared and damn near turned the ball over. Then he gets lost last night, just waiting for the screen to come, and Brunson beats him to the rim. Like they threw everything at Jalen Brunson last night, and he stepped up against any matchup last night, and so I'm extremely impressed with how he's carried us, completely carried us through, the tough part of this season. He's even went down with some injury, right? And has been able to bounce back, come back strong, still help us win games, still help us get big wins, right? So I'm a little excited right now, man. I'm very, very excited about the New York Knicks. Last night is a big win. Y'all have no idea. Like that's these road wins when we go on these West Coast swings, right? We got Golden State coming up on Monday, and then we got Denver coming up on Thursday, right? Like if we these are games, like if we could get these kind of wins, they just continue confidence boosters, and it just continues to add to our chemistry and what we're trying to build going into the postseason. 15 games left, Fabian. 15 games left. It's go time.
15 games is crazy. I
right?
definitely want to shout out Josh Hart though too. I just saying that, like
Oh,
how
man. Amazing.
he's not just we compare him to John Starks. I don't know if John Starks did this. I gotta be flat out honest. I
No,
don't remember him.
no.
And Keon Ellis is number 23. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Respectfully, Keon Ellis, he's a pro. So I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying, since I've seen him on the court, it's taking him some time to adjust to NBA life. I see him trying to figure things out. Much respect to him, but he'll learn from all these moments that I'm talking about. So
Did we see? I know Davion Mitchell caused the jump ball, but did we see him after that? He caused a jump ball on McBride.
McBride, yeah, I did see
And
that.
then I heard Monica say what school he went to, and I was like, he went to Baylor because Flea told me that.
Yeah,
but
won an NCAA championship at Baylor.
And I forgot his nickname, but there was nothing after that because we were wondering what's going on with him. Maybe after you saw yesterday's game, you're like, I can see why he's not on the court.
You're addressing me personally, yeah, because I was asking about where has he been. Yeah, I can see why he's getting lost in the sauce and lost in terms of rotation and cracking that rotation and getting consistent minutes. I can see why that's happening. I don't think that's any fault against him. I think that there's just a lot of good players over there, man. A lot of good players, a lot of good guys that's playing well at his position, right? There may be something going on between him and Mike Brown, right? Because Mike Brown will reward you if you play defense, and Davion Mitchell was, that was his calling card. He won Defensive Player of the Year in the Big 12, right? So this is his calling card in terms of being a defender. So I don't know. I would have probably, maybe we need to do a deep dive and take a look at who he is offensively, right? What he brings to the table on the offensive end. Because when I was looking at him last night, he's not. I don't think they don't look to him to create anything on the offensive end. They're not looking at him, to beat any matchups. They're not looking at him to, they're not trying to create any mismatches for him to get going. So, I don't. Maybe that may be it why he only gets spot minutes. Everybody, if you are on the Sacramento Kings, you got to play defense, but on the other end, you got to be able to score, right? They're a team that we've been watching the last couple seasons that put the ball in the basket. They like to get up and down. They like to get early offense. So maybe that's why Davion is not getting in the game, as much as as I thought he would be.
Yeah, he's another example of why I know Rodman's motor. Rodman was an incredible athlete, but I respect every era in their rules. If it's when you change the Uno, when they updated Uno rules every year. Every household got their own Uno rules, right?
Depends on what crib you go in. It depends on the rules we playing by.
So I think if Rodman or any other one-sided defensive player back in the day would just show up in this era, you ain't just gonna be who you think you are. That's disrespectful to the era, to the game, and to the players that dedicate themselves to the rules of today. That's part of the whole disrespect thing. So I think Davion Mitchell, once he figures out a jump shot, man, I think he's a dog on defense.
He is. He's still a hell of a player on the defensive end. He's probably the one guy that I saw last night really trying to get after it when defending Brunson, trying to be physical, trying to beat him to the spot, trying to make him do multiple counters and shit like that. So he'll stick around. I don't think he'll be one of them guys that you look up in the next 2 or 3 years and he won't be in the league. I think he'll still be able to stick around for a little bit.
Back to Josh Hart, comparing him, I think we initially compared him to John Starks. That was a crazy racist light skin comparison, and AP went full throttle the other way. Let's go dark skin. Let's go light skin, dark skin. He's this era's Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley.
And John Starks all in one. I don't think it was a bad comparison. It's the energy that Starks always brought. It's the fervor. It's the competitiveness. It's the will to win. All the intangibles and what John brought. Yes, Josh Hart has it. I don't think that's a bad comparison. Game-wise, how they play, very different. We could argue. We could debate that all day. But I'm talking about just strictly intangibles, what John Starks, why we loved him in terms of New York City, why we loved him. It wasn't about whether he could shoot the three on a good night or not. It wasn't about him being, slightly explosive every now and then. It wasn't nothing about that. It was like John is a guy that you see in the street and you'll dap him up and yo, John, you played your ass off tonight. That was what it was with John, and that's the same thing for Josh Hart.
And likable.
1000%.
John Price came up more approachable than I don't know. John Starks was a maniac too. All of them, like Mason was a maniac. We know that from Quint. Big up, God bless the dead.
Rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace, Anthony Mason.
Charles Oakley, I just, he's a likable version of all of them. Josh Hart, he's by far more charismatic. Like he's very, and just the rebounding. I like the Mason Oakley comparison because you don't expect him to be that utility man. And I think he's more consistent than Starks. We know every night 10 rebounds, which is crazy. Crazy.
At 6'4", he plays so big. Pause. Like plays like he's 6'9", 6'10". Right, Fabian? Like in terms of how he attacks the rim, attacks the offensive glass, attacks the defensive glass. Like I just love everything that he does. All the scoring is extra for me with Josh Hart. If he could get me 10 to 15 points a night, 8 to 12 points a night, that's cake. But the fact that he rebounds and the fact that he playmakes too. I think his playmaking is a little underrated, in terms of how he's getting everybody else involved during this stretch where we've been down, guys, bro. The way he's been playmaking with how we've been down, guys, I think has been extremely impressive.
No, I think he's hit it on the nose. And I don't got any numbers for Josh. Maybe I should look that up. I'm sorry, guys. But OG, I guess we'll move on to OG right now because there were reports about his elbow. Are we concerned with what we saw? I didn't see any rubbing of the elbow this game, but the Portland game, there was some like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Yeah, soreness. I don't know whether to take you guys at face value or not. I don't trust that trust. We have trust issues with Dolan. We have trust issues with the Knicks, and it may not be with Leon Rose now. He's off the hook. Thibodeau off the hook. The players off the hook. But the medical staff, you guys might be lingering with James Dolan's jacket a little bit. What's up with you guys? You know what I mean? With the what do you call that? The parlay game, the 3-card Monty, trying to fool us about who's injured and for how long.
He brought it to 3 Jesus.
Because it's after seeing the report, and we don't even really know how he hurt his elbow. But did you see anything to really give us any concern to go forward?
I think this is his first 2 games back, right? First 2-3 games back. How many games OG's been back? Maybe 3-4 games tops. I think early on you're going to see some inconsistency. You're always going to see a guy that's going to play hard. First couple games he came back and he looked great, right? But now a game where he kind of bruises it or nicks it a little bit, it's still sore. We're talking about a surgery that just happened 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we're not talking about a guy bumped his knee and it's just a little sore. We put some ice. We're talking he got cut open and now that's got to heal, right? And so I think if we're being realistic, we got to think that this is going to take some time to fully heal. Right, that's not going to be fully healed until next season. Like he's going to come back next, going into the training camp for next season, and that elbow will be fully healed. But going through the playoffs, we got to be realistic. We have to expect for that to be something that he's going to have to play through, for the remainder of the season and through the playoffs. What did I see? I saw that he struggled last night. Right, he had the first dunk of the game. Right, he opened the game up with a backdoor dunk and a 2-hand dunk, and after that, he was relatively quiet on the offensive end. So I think you're gonna see some things like that for the first 10 games or so while he's back, right? But as we finish off the season, he's still getting back in rhythm, game shape, all of that kind of stuff. But as soon as that postseason time is ready to go, I think he's going to be ready to go. I don't think that we should worry about that being something that is going to keep him out of games. I think that may be something that we need to be concerned about him playing through, though.
Yeah, because he's after the dunk, I saw he had 3 blocks, but I know he had 2 fouls in the first quarter because I text you guys saying why is he still in the game with 2 fouls? Rest them. But Thibodeau, that's just what he does. He leaves people there. It's not overplaying with the minutes now. He just plays you at just these random times where we're like, and he's taking a chance on it. But after those 2 fouls, he didn't foul again. 3 blocks, but horrible offensive night. 1 for 8, 0 for 4 from 3, 6 rebounds though, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks. He's just he's relentless on defense and he's present like that. He is the defense. Right. That changes everything. And then Hartenstein, of course, showing you why it's like, wait, did he block De'Aaron Fox? And no, he blocked whatchamacallit at the rim. Keegan Murray.
Listen, man. I think, aside from what we've seen him do on the offensive end, Zeke Hartenstein defensively has been amazing, right? So nothing short of, a rim protector since he's been playing. Like, I did not expect him to be able to protect the rim half as what Mitch would do for us when he was in the lineup. But yes, we miss Mitch, no doubt about it. But for what Zeke has done for us, I don't think that shouldn't go without being spoken about. He has really, really played hard on that end. Even if he's outmatched or not, the dude is really out there giving 110%. Really, like, I'm talking about blocking shots. I'm talking about deterring shots. I'm talking about offensive rebound. I'm talking about cleaning up the defensive glass. Like, all of that is encompassing in terms when you're talking about defense. That dude has been really great, able to hedge out on screens with quicker guards. Like, he does that. I don't know, maybe a little better than Mitch. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but when he's jumping out there on, when he's, making sure that his man can get back on that screen, or if he's switching on it, he does a very good job. Y'all know what I say all the time. He does a decent job in sitting in that chair and defending, man. Like, I'm just very, very impressed with Isaiah Hartenstein and what he's done, in the absence of Mitchell Robinson, and with just gaining a full trust of Tom Thibodeau. Now I feel like, Hartenstein is one of Tibbs' guys, right? Like we talk about guys around the league that are Tibbs' guys. Like, now I think he falls right on that list of, that's a Tibbs guy. Wherever you find Tibbs, you might find Hartenstein. Like Taj Gibson, Hartenstein is going to be like one of them guys too, man. He's just been special for us.
I got a conspiracy theory with Taj Gibson has fully completed that. Fully completed that.
Big shout out to Taj. He got a job with Detroit. He got signed with Detroit for the rest of the season. Big shout out to Taj.
You don't say. You don't say.
Keep a job, Taj. You from the city, baby. Keep a job, big dog.
I keep thinking he's from Fort Greene. He's not from Fort Greene though, but he's from BK.
Mm-hmm.
But the relationship the Knicks have with the Pistons. Who used to work for the Pistons, Flea? And the Knicks?
Who used to work for the Pistons?
And the Knicks? He currently has a podcast and he appears on ESPN.
Currently has a podcast and appears on ESPN.
Yeah, it's a different podcast. I'll cut to the chase.
Who is that?
Scott Perry.
Oh, Scotty P. Yeah.
CW Flash, you are on the money, my brother. This guy, CW Flash, these guys know what they're talking about, man. The trade with Alec Burks to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Knox. There's Scott Perry working over there, like the NBA, and it's just business to me. I think everywhere around the world. No, he's not back in Detroit. He's podcasting, but
no, he's podcasting. Yeah,
it's the fact that we used to work there. He's with the Knicks. I think all that, my guy. I'm part of the Popovich tree. Like you're. I think that's all intel, and people are just, CIA in their own way.
All intel.
Like if let's say Mike Brown, you think he's not, if he gets fired or let go from the Sacramento Kings, he's not giving Pop any intel? He's going back to RC Buford in the text message. They got a group chat, man. They got R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich, Becky Hammond, and Mike Brown have a group
let's stay
chat.
on course, man. Let's stay on.
I'm on course.
We will fall down a Fabian rabbit hole, y'all, and we will be down there fighting with all kinds of conspiracy theories if we let him get in his bag. Let's stay on course. Go ahead, Fabian.
The point is that Detroit, shout out to Detroit Pistons, shout out to for giving Taj Gibson a job over there. Just like for the rest of the season, this is amazing. Yo, favor for a favor. Again, Leon Rose, La Cosa Nostra.
La Cosa Nostra. There you go. There you go.
This is the picture of the night.
You can't beat this. Shout out to Keon Ellis, man.
This Yo, what happened to you, dog? It happens. But it was clearly bad defense, and Brunson took advantage. It's almost like
it's not. I don't want to say it's bad defense. He's trying to. Nobody told him, hey, by yourself. If somebody just say, yo, by yourself, you're not looking for no screen left or right.
Right.
But if somebody is saying, if whoever is on the bench, which is Sabonis, if Sabonis is like, hey, left, hey, right, then you know, okay, screen left, screen right is coming. I gotta know, okay, where my help is coming from, which side, like. But he's trying to figure out, even if he's by himself or not. Somebody just need to let him know, yo, by yourself, you on the island.
So and that's Sabonis' fault.
Whoever that is right there needs to tell him. At that juncture of the game, everybody needs to be telling him. Coach, everybody, by yourself. So you know, okay, I gotta sit in the chair and really try to get a stop here. Or force him to the side that I want the help to come from.
Yeah, because he had a wide open shot here for Anunoby, and I think in this corner it's DiVincenzo. But there's no way you should have 3 black jerseys up here top of the key, and there's only one guy back there.
Yeah, I mean he beat all of them. They're watching this. They're watching this play in film right now.
They got to.
If they're in practice today, I don't know how that works, but if they're in practice, the next film session, they're watching that in film. DeMontis, you have to let Keon know, hey, left, right, by yourself. You on the island. Something. There's got to be communication there. He shouldn't be looking like this, I mean, yes, know where you at, but nah. That's his fault still, but he shouldn't be concerned about, okay, I got to know. My teammates got to communicate with me. This is the best guy going downhill, one of the best in the game today. Attacking you at the rim, going downhill. Jalen Brunson is one of the best in the game right now. So I got to be locked in on trying to get a stop.
Jalen Brunson is one of the best in the game. And that's a great segue to the Knicks are some of the best players put together in the league right now. Says who? You ain't got to believe me. Don't kill a messenger, Papa. I'm only here just trying to tell you what them professionals told me.
Don't kill a messenger, Papa.
I like playoff game, man. How physical the Knicks were. We knew they was going to come in physical. I think because they play that way, the refs let them get away with stuff, and we got to stop looking for the refs to save us sometime and just play through it. But yeah, man, it was like a playoff game tonight.
Is there a benefit having to experience that?
Yeah, we get used to it. We see them again in a couple of weeks too, so we get another taste of the playoff basketball and the physical basketball. But yeah, the Knicks came in and just out physical.
Did you expect it to be a low scoring, grind it out type of game?
Yeah, man. The last 4 games I had, I think their opponents had 70, something like that. So yeah, man, we knew they like to slow the game down, play at their pace, and be physical. So it's a good learning point for us.
Have you felt more of this style of officiating since the All-Star break?
I don't want to get fined.
Ooh.
I don't want to get fined because if I comment on it, I'll say something about the refs, man. So.
What do you think of Brunson? Obviously, were you guys content with what he did and being able to kind of maybe control some of the other guys?
We never contend when somebody had 40. We tried to make the other people score, but they kept finding him getting the ball back. And of course, he's been great his whole career. So hats off to them.
What do you think you guys could have done to help play with Booker tonight?
Get some stops. Get some stops and make him miss a little bit so we can get out and run. But
Get to the
I said,
point.
it's a good learning point for us.
You talked about the intensity. Can you think of another game that maybe this one kind of compares similarly to that might kind of stick out in terms of having that type of feel?
Minnesota. They
Ooh.
play like that. Boston play like this.
Oh,
Probably about it. Miami play a little bit like this. Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, man. That's just something we got to get ready for if we're going to be in the postseason.
Obviously, Brunson had a big game, but how do you feel like
Jury rests his case. Rest my case.
Holding
Nothing to
opponents,
see here.
holding opponents to 90 points or less in the month of March, Fabian. 90 points or less in the month of March.
The first one was Philly. I don't really count that, but we count that.
It is what
It's on
it
the
is.
scoreboard.
It is what
Malik-
it is. They out there.
Malik Monk said the Knicks remind him of the Timberwolves, the Boston Celtics, and sometimes the Miami Heat. You know how the Miami Heat do. They show up whenever they want to. You talk about load management. Pat Riley and them boys, man, they do the sneakiest load management out there alive. And they show up whenever they want to. And when they do show up, they have playoff intensity. Becky Hammond, Candace Parker. These are the people we expect to see. I mean, the Timberwolves have been flirting with the number one position in the West. They've been giving it to the Kings all season long. Number one defense for damn near the entire year. The Celtics, same thing, especially with the intensity. And with the way they went to Sacramento, they had a crazy game over there in Sacktown, right? Pause. So, and in Miami Heat, of course, like we mentioned, again, sometimes with OG out there, even when the first game out, we were like, damn, Josh Hart, even just the mere factor of in your head you can play out, Josh Hart is no longer our second, third guy that we have to rely on to do something, get the rebounds or whatever. We have to rely on this. OG Anunoby comes in there and not just makes the game easier, you can feel the elevation. Almost as if that second Philly game was like they heard, oh, nah, OG's going to come back. Like, don't worry about this game. I think they really went for like, yo, OG's coming back. I think he does bring that, what all the superstars bring to the table. What Brunson brought to the Knicks. I think OG, if it's not equal in your mind or anybody else's mind, I think it's that and then some, especially because it's defense. Don't you feel like it's superstar-ish elevation?
That connector that we used to downplay, when somebody got called a glue guy. It was like, that's just the only role he has. But you got to understand, in today's NBA, when you bring a guy into your team and he connects everything, like that's a guy, right? Like when you bring in Rasheed Wallace in the middle of the season and y'all go on a run and now y'all win the 2004 NBA Finals, right? That's a connector. That's a guy that, like, yeah, we got a lot of good pieces. Everything is flowing right. But then we bring a guy in and he just connects everything. And now it takes us from good to really good. And that's what OG does for the Knicks in a nutshell. For me, he just takes us from, yeah, we were a good team, playoff team last year, hard fought, tough 6-game series with Miami Heat. Bring Miami the fuck on now. Bring them on now. When we're fully healthy, smoke y'all. Yeah, I want that. That with OG, yeah, I want that. Now we got a lot of stuff to throw with you. Oh, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I saw how that Sunday, or was it Saturday? Whatever. Big shout out, Knicks 100 at GM. Whatever that game was when Randall got hurt against Miami. It was a Sunday afternoon or Saturday afternoon, whatever it was. I was able to see during that game, like, we match up better with them. this year. We were tooth and nail last year. But now I can look at us right now, fully healthy us, fully healthy them. We're the better team. That's what I feel. We're the better team. So, yeah, bring them on. I want to see them. And this goes deep. This goes for just a 20-year, over 20-year rivalry. This goes deep. Bring Miami on again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I like how Malik Monk just stated that, because sometimes, again, it's me on a couch feeling what I feel, but he's saying exactly what I'm saying. I think it's a difference with when Denver's on their A game, Boston's on their A game. I haven't seen that from Sacramento this year. I haven't seen it from the Warriors this year. I haven't seen it. We saw it from the Lakers, actually, when they went to the in-season tournament. We did see championship style play. I can't front on that. There was, and that might have burned them out because, you know, number one option is a little bit, got a little miles to him. But I think this season more than ever before, that's how I want to rewatch the 1993 season all over again, because this just like I haven't seen it from Milwaukee. I have not. Philly early on this year when Embiid was healthy. There's certain teams that play, I'm just go, yo, damn, how the hell can you beat them? I don't know if we have the personnel to, like, do we have the personnel to beat them? And what counters everything for me is always going to be defense, except, like, you made a great point last episode. Aaron Gordon might be the best role player in the game, because I don't consider OG a role player anymore, not after what I feel. And Aaron Gordon, he is a role player, because when we start talking about superstar and this number one guy on the team, franchise player, you do what OG does. The only thing stopping OG is health. Aaron Gordon, at the peak of his powers, I don't think he's elevating the team like that and inspiring the team like that. I think that is real, it's spiritual, it's religious, and all that. But Aaron Gordon, he might be getting a little bit of cash money under the table every now and then from Joker, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you making my life easier, because you like he's taking on the weight, and OG brings that, but it's the relief of, oh my, you guys better be ready. This is what it feels like when it's all or nothing, and if you make a mistake, we're gonna capitalize every time. I think that's a different kind of pressure, and you can feel it from here. So for Malik Monk to say that specifically, point to the Timberwolves defensively, the Celtics defensively, the Heat defensively. Oh shit! So I'm not bugging.
Right.
And
we fall into that category, Fabian, 100%. And a big reason why is OG Anunoby. Just imagine how suffocating we're gonna be once him and Mitch are on the floor at the same time. How suffocating that defense is gonna be. We already mucked the game up already. Right? We already have teams scoring 70-something points in a game now. We already keeping teams 90 points or less, you know, for the month of March. And we already 2-3 weeks into the month of March, right? So, like, you know, we are proven to show that, yo, we are going to slow the game down because we're getting closer to the playoffs. So now, you know, we're getting into the groove of this is how games are going to be in late April going into May. This is how games are going to be. This is how we're going to have to grind it out. So get with it to get lost. And we are punching teams in the mouth right now in terms of how we're approaching the game offensively and defensively. I'm talking about teams don't get second opportunities. We capitalize on turnovers. We turn teams over. Like, that's one thing to capitalize on if a team is being careless. It's another thing to actually turn teams over because we're playing just lockdown defense, right? I've seen a lot of 24-second shot clock violations from teams. Like that type of thing right there, when you can get a defensive stop and stop a team from putting the ball up in 24 seconds, that's great shit right there. That's great stuff, and that's what the Knicks are doing, man. Listen, we're going to be tough. We're going to be tough.
You said it to whole teams, this is 91 points, and they were happy about that. They were happy about being held to 91. Being held to because before it used to be being held below 100. Now it's like being held below 110 is the key. But the fact that we're holding teams below 100, again, it goes with the pace. Early on, Monica McNutt said, "Yo, we're playing at their pace. We got to slow down. That's not our game." And she was right, because OG's not going to go for 40 points a game. No, he needs those. Let's slow it down and let's make every defensive possession feel like it's the last possession ever. When you do that, you know better. Come on now. You're going to overthink it. It's just amazing, man. It really is. The Kings, that's going to be our competition when it's off season and Ochoa is out there. They have the recipe with a guy like Sabonis who's going to rebound like that by himself, who's rebounding and he can play like 44 minutes against the Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein. Their front line is weak primarily because they don't have the other guy to really box out, whether it's a small forward or even the Josh Hart sneaking through. Do we see anybody who has that for the Kings? Because Embiid is gone. Is anybody in the East? Giannis? Who do we see as the competition that can do what Sabonis did for the Kings, possibly, that I'm not thinking about? Maybe they have a small forward or a guard that can rebound like that, like a sneaky Westbrook, that I'm not thinking about.
Well, I think the Bucks will have to be able to rebound the basketball if we see the Bucks. We'll have to. I don't think that you can sneeze at them in terms of, on the glass. In the Eastern Conference, Orlando, Boston, clearly. Boston takes a lot of threes. Like, they shoot a lot of threes, so there's always going to be a chance for long rebounds. Like, doesn't Boston take the most threes per game in the NBA right now? Like, they put that shit up. So, I would imagine that we'd have to rebound really, really well against them, regardless if they pound the glass. I don't know how well they pound the glass this year, but I know that they put up a lot of threes, and if that's going to be opportunity for long rebounds, you're going to have to be able to, especially in the playoffs, possessions matter. Like, every possession matters. So if you can get them one and done, get them to come down, whatever set they get into, shoot a three, get a stop, and get that next possession, that's like super duper important, in playoff basketball. So those couple of teams come to mind. I wouldn't worry about Philly, especially if Embiid is not out there. And no other team in the Eastern Conference right now would scare me in terms of us being able to battle them on the glass. It's funny. The team that leads the NBA in rebounding right now, I think, is the Golden State Warriors, which is kind of weird.
Rebound percentage is the Knicks. Traditional wise, total rebounds 46.9 is the Celtics, and the Warriors are second.
We're fifth.
Okay. We're fifth in terms. This is total rebounds. So with the rebound percentage, I'm not really sure how that works, but advanced stats, they're using them for a reason. We're number one in rebound percentage, 52.9. Boston is fourth in that. Golden State is third in that. If we're worried about offensive rebounds, Boston is kind of middle of the pack with that. And defensive rebounds, we are fourth in the league. The Kings are number one in defensive rebound percentage. Did it feel that way? That's all Sabonis.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Sabonis has like 50 double-doubles in a row right now. So I wouldn't be mad at them being that high. That makes sense is what I mean.
They don't have the Julius Randle with Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein with a heart, Ochoa. They just, if Sabonis goes down, they are done. And what's up with, I don't want to make it a Kings thing, but Fox, he is who I thought he was. If he's hurt or whatever it is, I don't know. But he's not Halliburton, man.
He's been special this year. He has been special. You got Fabian, be fair to that kid. I know how you are. You're a tough critic with certain guys. Be fair to that kid. That kid has been special this year. He had an early injury. After that, he's been crazy. He absolutely should have been an all-star. Absolutely should have been an all-star this season. I'm not going to debate. I'm not going to debate who you take off, who you put. I'm not debating.
No, not who you take off, but it's tough for any perimeter player in this day and age, to make it when you're not who's the top Steph Curry's making it automatic. Just he's a
But
shooting
I
at
mean,
this.
this kid is having a career season and he's shooting the ball well. He's finally found his 3-ball, right? You can't go under that screen no more on him because he'll knock that shit down. He's the fastest guy with the ball in his hands, 94 feet in the NBA right now. Ain't nobody faster with the ball in his hands than him, right? Like I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but I know when I say this, you're gonna do a deep dive on him now, just to figure out if you're right. So please take the time to do that because I think he's been a little better than what I think you're giving him credit for.
Well, just stat wise, I'm not. He doesn't. To be honest, if we're talking about off what I'm watching, he doesn't fly off the screen like last year. Last year he got the Mr. Clutch award and it felt like it.
Right, but I think as a team, they're not jumping off the screen. They had to duplicate what they did last year. They snuck up on people last year, right? There was no film out on how good they really were going to be, or how they look when they're good. There was no film out on that. So now there's this film out on when they're a successful team. What do they do great when they're successful? Okay, now I have the opportunity to see what they do. And so they couldn't sneak up on a lot of teams this year. Guys were ready for them. They knew what their weaknesses is, where their strengths was, what they had to do, to be successful against that team. So, they've played well. Like going into this game, I think we were a game better than them. The Knicks going into this game, I think we were one game up on them. I think they were like 38-27. We were 39-27 before last night's game. So, they were great last year, but because they're not as explosive and, number 3 seed and catching everybody off guard and beating and getting all these games that people didn't think they were going to win, I think that plays a part in why he's not jumping off the screen, why they got snubbed for All-Stars, like all of that kind of stuff is falling into play with that team, because they didn't kick it up another notch from what they did last year.
I guess my thing is, if you compare him to Halliburton now, it's always going to be unfair. Even when comparing him to Brunson, there is no way I'm taking him over Brunson. And Brunson's not as talented as him. Like these guys, in my opinion, they're not as talented as Fox.
Halliburton's second half of the season hasn't been great. I don't think you're taking a look at him and what he's been doing, and how loud the first half of the season was going into that play-in, going into that in-season tournament to post All-Star break. I'm not even talking about numbers wise, because he may be still putting up very similar numbers, but in terms of impact and what they've done post All-Star break, they're a playing team. Are they top 6 seed? I may be jumping the gun. They're top 6. They may be 6.
They're in 6 right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's actually really good for that team. I take that back. That's actually really good for that team. That team, that's really good.
I disagree with that. I think he's, especially in this era where it's all pick and roll, Sabonis is the pick and roll guru of big men, aside from Joker. Like he's the second most, and I'm starting to despise Sabonis because what he did last year and what I was expecting from what he should have been doing and from the regular season, and not taking these shots at the elbow, which would have changed everything. I'm a broken record at this point, but I think Brunson with that is a different animal. He doesn't even have that on the Knicks. You get a pick and roll guy, dribble handoff with Brunson, that's different. Even with the shooters that they have with DiVincenzo, whoever it is, and Fox, maybe that's just not his game to have Sabonis there. I don't know if they mix well, because
Fox has been incredible. They just have not been good defensively. They were pretty decent last year defensively. They haven't been that good this year. That's a big difference.
They were bottom 10 last year as well. I just think that other players are starting to separate themselves, or maybe their style doesn't fit, or whatever it is. And for me, flat out, it's been proven. What I saw when Halliburton was there and they were on the same team, and I'm like, I think it's night and day how much better Halliburton is than Fox. Just by, again, the elevation of the team with, are we talking about with OJ Anunoby? That's what I saw with Halliburton. Like, they play, when he gets the ball in his hands, he's looking for the next best play all the time. And they would miss these passes with him like 3 or 4 possessions. I'm like, how do you coach this? Fox is not the point guard. That's insane to give him the ball first ever. He's going to get you the ball in the right spot and then go to the right spot right afterwards. He doesn't care if Fox gets the ball. That's the crazier part. It's not that Fox is selfish. He's not a bad person. This guy, yo, he's a nice kid, man. Anytime he talks, like, I hope my son turns out like him. At least his presentation at the press conference, De'Aaron Fox. But his style of play is just, again, the one-on-one Kyrie-ish kind of.
Oh no.
See, it always gets to. I don't. Obviously, Kyrie is gonna have his own game, but when Carmelo Anthony, all these guys that kind of become a black hole,
Fox is not a volume shooter. He's not a guy that once he gets it, you're not gonna get it back. That's not him. That's not his game. That's not his game. Because Halliburton is a 12 assist guy and Fox is an 8 to 9 assist guy, doesn't make him this volume shooter. Like, Halliburton is a more prototypical guy that's going to get everybody else involved. But Fox is a guy that comes from that golden age of point guards where you got to be able to score the ball to get on the basketball court. He defends at a high level already. He's not like some crap defender. So he plays defense. So that team didn't kick it up enough to another notch. Last season, they were kicking everybody's ass. They were a top 3 seed in the Western Conference the entire year. He led that team to a 7-game series with the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry had to go for 50 for them to win that game 7 on the road. What I'm saying is that that Warriors team had the experience to be able to get through that 7-game series. Sacramento didn't have that. So that's the separation. But in terms of are they capable of being a good team? Hell yeah. And a big reason why is De'Aaron Fox.
All right. It seems like you always kind of answer your own question and give me and just try to take my rebuttal from me. Steph Curry had to score 50 points. They were right there. They should have been in the second round. It looks like they might not make it out of the second round this season. I'm just saying, Halliburton took a leap this year. Brunson took another leap this year. OG Anunoby took a leap. These players are taking leaps.
But Fox's leap was last year.
It was, but
that was his year.
He seems to leap and take a step back. That's my thing with
that. Okay. That's what we meet in the middle. We meet in the middle. Cool.
I've been watching way too much Seinfeld lately, so Kramer's on my mind.
Oh man, he's a fool.
Did not. Hold on, I was mentioning Kramer. Forget that guy. You better come on publicly apologize for the rest of your life, Kramer. I didn't forget what you did.
Yeah, we didn't forget. We didn't forget.
Please, amazing. Speaking of not forgetting and always staying in our cycle, I think there's the latest rumor about a supposed wannabe Knick or a guy that wanted to be a Knick that you guys were fawning over, and I never wanted him over here. But Donovan Mitchell, according to Sam Amico, I think he works with the Cavs, or this guy works with the Cavs. I predict Donovan Mitchell signs a max extension with the Cavs, but how things play out from here could have something to do with that. I have been told repeatedly he's happy in Cleveland. So that is coming from a Cleveland insider, apparently. I hate to put it that way, but that's what it is, guys. I don't work over there. I'm not from Cleveland. Do you guys believe in Sam Amico? I don't know. Do we want, if available, if it's for a trade for Donovan Mitchell, who do we trade if you want him? Because if he's a free agent, I think that's a no-brainer. You gotta. He feels right in for DiVincenzo, and this turns into another level of craziness. But if he's available for trade, he's a free agent a year from now. If he's available for trade, do we still trade for Donovan Mitchell, and for who?
That's a good question. I still think you still have to take a look at Donovan Mitchell. If we haven't upgraded that 2-guard position, you always have to look to upgrade your roster, especially with a ever-talented league, rather, right? Teams are always going to continue to get better. So yeah, do you take a look at it? Do you spin the block on that? 100%. But what kind of package do you put together to get a Donovan Mitchell? I don't know. I think that if you're Cleveland, I don't know if you want anything back from the Knicks. I think that at this point now, you would try to explore a 3-team deal with involving somebody else. And so now Donovan Mitchell his destination would be the Knicks, but there would have to be some other team involved. I don't think we have anything that the Cleveland Cavaliers even remotely want if we want to start having conversations again about getting that dude on our team. I don't think they have anything. The conversation, I don't even think the conversation would even start with a Julius Randle. I don't think they would want him, right? So if Donovan Mitchell is interested and he, they're looking to, make his wish come true and, put him in a position to be a New York Knick, I think that they would have to call somebody else and, figure out how we're going to put this together to get him in New York and to get us something back that we'll need. We'll obviously have to replace him, right? So you'd obviously be trying to look for the next replacement for Donovan Mitchell. I don't even know where you start with that. How it's hard to replace an all-star level 2 guard. That's not easy. So how do you where do you start? So I don't think it would just be us and the Cavs doing a deal. Another team would be in the mix, and that other team would have to be somehow supplying the Cavs with their replacement, and I'm sure we would supply the Cavs with the draft equity.
Donovan Mitchell, he felt like, can I add him on? What's going on? All ball in the building.
Oh, my brothers.
OG, what's good?
Come on, man. Man. I just had to kick them niggas out the car. Get out.
At the talking about Donovan Mitchell, whether it's worth going after him this offseason still. According to a Cleveland insider, he won't be available. What the hell is up with this thing now? He won't be available. And I know he had a recent knee injury. Donovan Mitchell returned. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell returned to the Cavs after missing the previous 7 games with a bone bruise that required a PRP injection to help heal. I think PRP is like when they put your own blood in there or whatever it was.
That's
2 games later.
That's the stuff that Kobe did over in Germany.
That's crazy how they just do that now. And
that's regular now.
Right. 2 games later, Mitchell and the Cavs have taken a step back as the all-star shooting guard admits the injury is still affecting him and his status for the team's upcoming game remains uncertain. No disrespect to some guys, I'm not really blown by people right now, and that's disappointing to me, and that's affecting me. Yeah, he didn't look good against the Rockets either, so that's true. And
he didn't play against us when we beat them. When Brunson went down, he wasn't playing.
Ball here. I thought he'd be too busy concocting his latest absolutely bonkers take. Robert Paulson in the building.
Can I say something real quick? So big shout out to my brothers, man. Dom, Fabian, my brother, Flea, we in the building.
Yes, sir.
I'm being honest. I think we can do better than Donovan Mitchell. And that's no knock on him. But if we're not getting a Giannis, I'm now skeptical about Embiid because it seems like he can't stay healthy. But if we're not getting like a Giannis caliber type player, I think how we're constructed, fully healthy, I think we compete for a title. I'm sorry. I think if we pulling Brunson at the 1, we got OG, we got Randall, we got Mitch, we got Josh Hart, we still got coming off the bench, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein and them guys. I honestly think, we can compete now. Like I said, I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is the guy, to be honest. I'm just being honest. Now, if we can get Donovan Mitchell, we don't have to give up Brunson, OG, or Randall, then okay, I'm cool. But if we got to give up any of those, no, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that. I think like I said, we see what we look with OG without Randall. So imagine us fully healthy. I think we way better than Cleveland fully healthy. The only team that, stopping us as far as talent-wise and roster-wise will be Boston and Milwaukee. I still think we better than Philly with Joel Embiid. I'm sorry. So, I think the Donovan Mitchell thing, that ship has sailed. I think we have enough draft picks. We have enough pieces now. That was the purpose of getting guys like Burks and Bogdanovic. Like I said, you could package a lot of that up. And once again, if we got to package up, this is going to hurt. We got to package up a Randall or something with 5, 6, 7 picks. Like I said, we need either a young superstar, which I know that ain't going to happen, like an SGA Ant-Man and that type of caliber, or we need a Giannis. If it's not nothing like that, we stay pat and we keep making those little moves, because I think, like I said, fully healthy. If we fully healthy and nobody gets hurt, and we in second seed right now, this is not even a discussion. So, yeah, I don't think Donovan Mitchell moves the needle for us. I'm sorry.
Knicks GM says, I'm trying to forget all the big brand players out there. Herb Jones is who we should get. Herb Jones with OG would be crazy. I mean, I'm big on Herb Jones. I don't know if the Pelicans will give him up for whatever it is. But after watching the Pelicans, though, Herb Jones I don't know. Defensively, he's going to be crazy. Offensively, it's not like with Mikal Bridges where they developed him in Phoenix. In Phoenix, he was the point of attack, and they started running plays for him. But I don't call it flashing to the foul line, but there's certain plays that they ran for him in Phoenix, and I said, oh, wait a minute, this he's not playing the same way. Like, he's the lead defender on Phoenix. He's the reason why they are good defensively, and then all of a sudden they're running plays for him. I have yet to see any of that with Herb Jones. He's not aggressive offensively at all. Trust me, I've been watching him since I called out the Knicks for trying to go get him. And
Mikal is one guy that I would like for us to take a look at.
Yes, that's your guy, Flea. Yes.
Yeah, if he's available. If he's available, I would take a look at him. I mean, I would even move some pieces if we want to have a conversation with Brooklyn. Guys like that, definitely. Like I said, I'm with OG. We can't move any of our core pieces for Donovan Mitchell. But again, I don't even think Cleveland would even want any of our core pieces. Again, for us, it would start with draft equity, like draft capital. If they would want to dip into our draft capital and do Donovan Mitchell a favor by sending him over to where he wanted to be, hell yeah. I don't think any three of us would turn our nose to him if he wanted to be here. But I don't think we need to be looking at trying to get him over here and giving up anything we have right now. Hell no.
Nah.
Right.
And I think that DiVincenzo I think he shows flashes of what Donovan Mitchell could be. And also what's the kid? Brooke from Phoenix. Why am I blanking out right now? Devin Booker.
Can I ask y'all a question? How would y'all feel about what's the young man over there in Atlanta?
DeJounte Murray now?
How would y'all feel about DeJounte Murray if, like I said, if we don't have to give up Brunson, Randall, OG? I know we're not giving up Josh Hart or DiVincenzo, but what if we could still get a player like that? How would y'all feel about that? I'm pretty sure it would cost way less.
I'm not a fan of that because from what I've seen,
he's another ball handler and he could play. Hold on, I'm sorry. We needed a ball handler because Burks is not it. He's another ball handler and he could defend. He's a 6'4", 6'5", so he's kind of a big guard. So what are y'all thoughts on that?
I don't think he defends well, play.
I think he defends just fine. I just think that he's looking to score the ball, right? Like he got over there with Trae Young, and he's taking shots from Trae. Not saying Trae's not getting his shots. I'm just saying he wants to be as good as Trae Young. I don't want him to come over to New York and want to be as good or as much of a focal point as Jalen Brunson is in our offense. I don't need you to do that. So if he came over here and strictly wanted to be who he was, like who I thought he was in San Antonio, 1,000%. Yeah, come on. But he got to Atlanta, and like any player, like any player, they want to evolve and become better and up their it's levels to this. So he wanted to up his level, but I don't think the Knicks need to have him up in their level with us. I don't want you to be a guy that you're looking for 15 to 18 shots a night. Please, I don't want that.
Right.
And I think at any point, anyone at this point, and Mikal Bridges makes sense because, come on, man,
low maintenance. He ain't gonna need all those shots.
He'll fall right in line. That'd be perfect.
Right,
exactly.
Right.
Bigger than every look. AP Jalen Brunson is untouchable. They trade Brunson. I renounce my 34 years of being a fan. Why? Because, bro, come on. When have we ever seen this with the Knicks? It got to be how the 70s Knicks fans felt. It has to be, because they like and in the 90s too. We had a culture. There was got Oakley, Mason. We were just one earlier with John Starks. There was even Derek Harper. Anybody they added, we were like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. When X-Man left, that didn't make sense. Why the hell would you let him go?
We was pissed off about it.
And you brought in Charles Smith?
Yeah, we was pissed off about that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Devin Booker, he makes sense if he's cool with them like that, and he is CAA. But Mikal Bridges makes the most sense. Now, I'm just going back to the draft pick thing. I don't know if the guys who are desperate for them draft picks is Atlanta, because they gave up the draft picks for DeJounte Murray. Donovan Mitchell, the Cleveland Cavaliers are definitely desperate for them draft picks after giving up Mitchell and getting what they might have the 3rd seed. He might not play over there. The Jazz are looking for draft picks, but who do they have? And who we saying? And Phoenix, you gave up draft picks and everybody to get Kevin Durant, and you gave up at least 4 first-round draft picks when you gave up Mikal Bridges, because he left and they offered you 4 from Memphis, so they're looking to get that back. So I think a trade with Phoenix and Cleveland make the most sense. If you're pitting them against each other, you go, here's 3 first-round draft picks. Can I get Booker? No? Okay, go back to Cleveland. Can I get Donovan Mitchell? Yeah. Okay, I'm about to get Mitchell. I think you can negotiate like that, and I'm not sure you can with Atlanta.
But can I ask y'all a question? What's the difference as far as the mindset in shots taken and things of that nature with DeJounte Murray and Donovan Mitchell? Because Donovan Mitchell's going to want to come over there because in his mind he's a superstar. So I don't see him coming over there and playing second fiddle.
I've been able to watch Donovan Mitchell, play playoff basketball, be a league guy, right? Like I know what it looks like to say, hey, Donovan Mitchell, I need you to get 50 tonight in the playoffs because we need you to take us home. I know what that looks like. I don't know what that looks like for DeJounte Murray. Like I think Brunson would be a little more comfortable with that level of player, having to figure out how to get him into the offense as opposed to figuring out how to get DeJounte Murray into that offense, who is still somewhat emerging. Like we know what Donovan Mitchell is. I don't know what DeJounte Murray is yet in terms of offensive output. I know what you are as a basketball player. Just come and defend, and everything that you get on the offensive end is going to be because you was great defensively. Be that, but I don't know.
I think we need to go all in on Bridges. I think eventually Brooklyn is going to have to realize they got to rebuild. That's not working. And guys like Mikal Bridges, you don't want to be over there, and you wasting your talents. Too good of a player, OG. I don't think his talents can be fully unleashed over there in Brooklyn. Now he comes over there with us, he's gonna be playing with guys that he went to school with, he played with before, that he actually likes. And nothing is like New York as far as the fan base. To me, I think we go all in on Mikal Bridges. Now, what do we give up? I don't know, but I think that's who we go all in for. And I think if we can get Mikal Bridges, we're the best team in the East. Probably second behind Boston, like I said, because you got to respect, what them guys did in that roster. But roster-wise, I think we will be better than Milwaukee, even with them having Giannis and Dame. Because with OG, Randall, Bridges, and Brunson, come on, man. So, yeah, I think we go all in on Bridges and forget about everybody else, especially Donovan Mitchell. I think that ship has sailed. I don't want no parts of him. And he's injury-prone. I'm sorry.
and we'll be tripling down on the culture. Like I don't think Flea. People, Rob Paulson in the comments. Somebody got to talk to us about when was the last time we seen a crop of young players go to a team like this, and they were all part of the same family, literally the same family from when they were teenagers. They get to the professional leagues. I don't know where in the pros this has ever been done before. Maybe I'm being blindsided by some obvious under my nose event, but I don't remember this happening, and it's working. So, I like Mikal Bridges since he was in Phoenix. You're like I said, you tripling down on the culture to bring him to the team. It makes the most sense because more so than the talent, defensively, him and OG is going to be a problem. That's a problem. For them to be able to sit down and have their own real roommates podcast, God knows what they tell each other in backstage. I'm pretty sure it's a lot more raw. They're already comfortable like that. There is no, I don't think they're pussyfooting around like the Boston Celtics are. I don't think that's happening. I think that they really are raw, and they have history, they have experience, they're like family already. So that would be the case too. I would give up 4 first-round draft picks because, again, I'm not about trading for just the talent. I'm trading for what's the next best move. Just like on the court, what's the next best play? The GM should be thinking about the next best play, and the next best play got to be whoever fits in this team the best.
I'm being honest. I give up 5 draft picks. I'm giving whatever they want because this is my thing. Those guys are going to be locked in. Like, that's what we got to realize. Like, you got to remember, those guys are so good together and so cool that they take pay cuts to stay and play with each other, man. Like, and that's what we got to do. We got to lock in our guys. Like I said, as long as we got OG Brunson, because I'm being honest, and I've been telling everybody, OG is that dude. OG is that dude. I'm gonna be real. He's more untouchable than Randall, in my opinion. For me.
For the team, yeah. For what we got going, yeah. For what we do.
Yes. For me,
for what we do.
Flea, I think you said it best. He's the most important player on our team.
Yeah.
It's not even close. So I think, that's the purpose of racking up all these draft picks and all these assets. Listen, man. If we got to get a tampering charge, let's get it. Let's pay the fine. let's get Bridges' ass over there. Real talk, and let's go. It's now or never. It's now or never, fellas. We got a 3-year window to win a championship.
Yeah, I love it. I got to run, fellas. I'm
always a pleasure.
Watching my brothers. Appreciate y'all.
Always. You already know. Yeah, I think I want Flea to stay on to say to hear this. I have OG Anunoby as the most important, most valuable piece in the Knicks right now. There's a different, Brunson has to try to create and be Brunson. And he is a cultural leader and everything. We have to give him that. But he's like the Tom Brady on that side, Peyton Manning on that side, if that. But it's different when you have a defensive guy that changes everything. Like the guy that you cannot, in football, you better not throw in his direction. You better not you have to look at Aaron Donald.
He's Darrelle Revis, bro.
Better, because Darrelle Revis wasn't attacking the line of scrimmage. Aaron Donald, you have to have 2 or 3 guys on him.
All right, y'all get
Darrelle Revis was Revis Island. You have Ed Reed, Palomalu, even what's my guy, the Honey Badger. When you have guys that can see the backfield and then go into the backfield into the line of scrimmage and they disrupt the line of scrimmage, that's what OG's doing. So on the defensive end, you got to worry about somebody creating offense. That's a constant 3 to 6 point swing on every possession defensively. That's why I think he's the most important piece and most valuable player as of right now. He takes it to a championship level automatically.
Well, you know what? Great points. And us as Knicks fans and as a fan base, we got to just be patient and don't panic. We ain't got to rush and do nothing. Like I said, we have a solid roster. My opinion, we have the 3rd best roster, fully healthy, in the Eastern Conference. I give you Boston, Milwaukee, then it's us. I think we're better as a roster than the Philadelphia 76ers. So for me, we don't have to panic. We ain't got to make no crazy move. We've been making a lot of smart moves. We ain't got to make no dumb move now. Nah, why we go all in on with Donovan Mitchell? No, like I said, what do we have to give up? Nah, I don't think he gets us to a championship level. I'm sorry. I know the hype was, before, but now seeing OG, seeing how we was looking when everybody was healthy, and then we didn't even have Mitchell Robinson. And like I said, DiVincenzo stepped up tremendously. He's become a shooter. So for me, you know, I think we need more so. I think we need a shooter more than anything.
Yeah, a lot. 'Cause
My
they don't
opinion.
have that. Yeah, who is the? There's no the Steve Kerr type like. DiVincenzo was freaky. Even
Exactly.
Bogdanovich. I thought he
Oh,
was
man.
knocked down, but it's not
Yeah.
set. He's not
He's
a set
disappointing me
shooter.
right now. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But he's enough to spread the floor. They are dangerous enough for that. I don't know who we could add for that. And then of course we need a capologist on here to break down. Remember, Hartenstein's contract is going up. They just said Kelly Olynyk re-signed and his contract, he re-signed for more money. That affects Hartenstein's contract in the offseason. So that's going to go up. That's the reason why we traded IQ. Whose contracts are going to be able to be re-signed for this summer and they go up. That's a great problem to have if we expect to be this championship caliber team. Because I agree with you. Why not? We're worth way too much money to not keep this culture around, to not keep this family around. It's too good for the fans. Like everything about it you can sell. It's the most organic form of business that they've ever created since the 90s Knicks and then going back to the 70s Knicks. Ever since they tried the Carmelo thing didn't work out because you were trying to force it. The Amari thing, well, not the Amari, the Nene Hilario thing when they could have drafted him for
Well, you got to remember, Fade. Well, you got to remember, right? Well, you got to remember, our New York Knicks. We used to players that have to work hard to become who they are. You got to remember, Melo was born a superstar. Syracuse won the national championship, came into the league with high expectations. You got to remember, we used to, the God rest his soul, the Masons, the Oakleys, the Derek Harpers, the John Starks, the underdogs. Know what I'm saying? Like we the guys that work hard. So, like I said, man, I just think the team we have now, we play harder than everybody. And I think, like I said, when we're fully healthy, I think we the third best team in the East. And on any given day, we shown it that we can beat anybody. Anybody. And no matter what team you have to be healthy to win. So, of course, Brunson with certain games is not going to look as good as he's supposed to look because half the team is gone. But now we see when OG is back, 240 balls. Like, and you look how much praise everybody giving Brunson, from players to coaches. Listen, man, we have it. All we got to do is build around it. That's it. Stay healthy, stay smart, stay patient. Like I said, I'm a key in it. Golden State could have gave up on Steph Curry. I'm not saying Brunson is Steph Curry. But all the injuries he was having, and then the riff with when they was talking about giving him up and keeping what's my guy that was over there before he got over there? The guard.
Golden State.
Right, yeah, it was his team before Curry came.
Oh, Monte Ellis.
Right. So for me, we just got to stay patient. Golden State stay patient. They seen what they had. They build around it, built through the draft, picked up some veterans like Iguodala, some good players. And now look, we could do the same thing. We just got to stay patient. Don't rush. Don't let the fan base, don't let nobody rush you into doing something that's going to be no good like how we would usually do. I'm not giving up a whole bunch of draft picks and players for Donovan Mitchell. No, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it because we can do better. And that's no knock on him. Great player. But nah.
Well, welcome to the light, AllBall. I've been saying that about Donovan Mitchell from the moment we're trying to trade for him. I don't think he would have brought us to this feeling of, oh, we're a championship team. I didn't know OG was this guy. I didn't know Brunson was this guy. But I knew I didn't want to build around people that just forced and didn't make sense in a fit. And OG was that guy. And there's no way now. Everyone would agree. We don't need Donovan Mitchell.
Right. But I was excited when I first heard about it. This is before we had OG, and we knew Randall and Brunson wasn't enough. So of course, if we would have been able to get rid of Barrett and a couple other players to get Donovan Mitchell, of course that's a no-brainer. But now having OG, and then how DiVincenzo was stepping up, and then now Josh Hart is coming into something crazy. We good. We just got to stay healthy. Remember, we don't have Mitch. Randall ain't there, so we not seeing how we are fully healthy yet. No.
Yeah. I think OG is the. I was saying it earlier. I don't know if you got to hear that. I think he is what, even with De'Aaron Fox, what we saw yesterday. I don't see that I don't see De'Aaron Fox bringing that with this elevation that OG brought to the Knicks. Like, it's like you said, this feels like a relief. Like, we talk a lot as New Yorkers, but we're not joking around. We say, oh no, this is crazy.
Bro,
okay, now we look like, and for Malik Monk to say what he said last night, the only other teams that bring this kind of intensity is Minnesota, the Celtics, and the Heat. All teams that we expect to be contending for a championship this year.
Bro, that's how you know we watch the game, because all these GMs and ball players and other platforms, nobody's seen OG being as good. Remember, you used to be like, yo, true, and I used to be like, nah, I'm hyped. Like, why are you hyped? Bro, I knew it. That's what I told you. He better than, what's the other kid in Toronto?
Who? Not Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, he better than Scotty Barnes. Toronto made a mistake. Listen, I'm standing on that. No knock on Scotty Barnes, but I've been saying it, and people thought I was crazy. OG, his effect on the game is way bigger, than Scotty Barnes. I'm sorry. If Scotty Barnes was here instead of OG, this would not be happening. Oh, listen, OG is Kawhi Leonard-ish, meaning quiet, tough, underrated. Nobody really know how good he is. Nobody knows how to appreciate players like that, because everybody just look at offense, but they don't look at the little things. Remember when Kawhi was in San Antonio, even in Toronto? Bro, you couldn't get by him. Arms were so long, bro, he's swiping that ball out of here. When I watch OG, I'll be like, yo, when a guy got the ball, got a dribble, even if you get by him, he poking it out, pause. So for me, I think, as long as we got OG Brunson, I think we solid, man. And we not getting one of those caliber superstars that's just like, we get them in this automatic, we favorites, I say we stay pat. And if we right now trade for Donovan Mitchell, yeah, it's going to be a lot of hype, but that's not going to make us championship favorites over Milwaukee or Boston.
I don't even see, like you said, I don't see, because somebody asked about Jimmy Butler earlier, if he's available this offseason. Jimmy Butler, I think he will, as far as tough nose, and he brings the attitude. I think he has the same attitude that we need. He's clutch, but I don't know if he makes the game easier for Brunson, because he's gonna need the ball, and he goes to the perimeter into the perimeter line, to the paint a lot. Like, it has to be 3-and-D guys.
I would love Jimmy Butler, bro. I'm being honest. If we could get Jimmy Butler without giving up Randall Brunson or OG, I'm going to get Jimmy Butler, bro. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. You got Jimmy Butler and OG on the court at the same time? Man, listen.
Yeah, it's come playoff time.
Exactly. You got to remember, the regular season is cute, but now it's to the point where, listen, man, we talking playoffs. And if we could put out a lineup of Brunson, Butler, OG, Randall, and Mitch, man, listen. Now, to me, that's a move. If it's not, what's our guy in Brooklyn? If it's not Mikal Bridges, bruh, I'm trying to go get Jimmy Butler. Sign his 2-year deal. I'm sorry.
Knicks GM feels the opposite. Yeah, Butler better than Bridges. Pat Riley's not right. That's how it came up. Pat Riley's not going to pay him all that money at this age. And he could be like, I guess, the final piece. Like the Patriots would do that. He will always add that one guy.
Exactly. But Butler is the missing piece to anybody right now that's a championship contender. Like right now, you put Jimmy Butler on Milwaukee, Minnesota, OKC. Bro, that's a missing piece. You don't need him for 5 years. You need him for 2-3 years. You need him for one thing and one thing only. That toughness, that grit, big shot making in them playoffs. Playoff Jimmy is for real. I'm sorry. And if we could get him and don't got to give up but so much, like I said, the draft picks, I would give up all those draft picks if it means we get a player in the next 3 years, we win a title. It's worth it. It's worth it. So for me, eventually we're going to have to make a move. It just got to be the right move and a smart move. Like I said, look at all the pieces we have right now. Look at all the pieces we have, and they all playing great. So a lot of teams would love to have DiVincenzo's, Harts, all them guys. Listen, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like you said, take 5-6 picks, take some expiring contracts. Let's go. Let's go.
I think people are struggling with regular season Jimmy though. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
They can struggle all they want. Wait till you. I bet every team that's laughing and doing all that, I bet they be nervous when they get to the playoffs.
yeah, maybe, but it is. He has those games in the playoffs where he goes crazy, and he can disappear also. And all and I don't know how fine we'd be. Like, how many games does this guy play a year in the season?
Well, Fabian, let's not forget Tyler Hero was hurt. That's one of their stars. So let's not. They was up on Boston 3-0, bro. Like, I understand what y'all saying about Jimmy, but come on, man. There's a lot of players that get hurt due to management. So I understand he's not an MVP for the regular season, but he's an MVP for the playoffs, and I take that all day.
Yeah, I get that, but he hasn't played 70 games in 7 years. He's played 60 games twice in 7 years. That it is. I don't know about that in New York City and with these guys there, and the way he talks. Nah, what I'm saying is that there's a lot of risk to that. It's not like there's no risk to that. It's not, to me, it's not an automatic thing to add Jimmy Butler, especially over Mikal Bridges. Well, Mikal Bridges seems like it's so seamless.
No, I didn't remember what I said. I said Mikal Bridges is my first option. My second option, I would try to get Jimmy Butler over Donovan Mitchell. I'm sorry, but my first option for sure is Mikal Bridges. Trust me, I did not say I would want Butler over Mikal. Mikal is younger. He's a better player at this point. But if we can't get Mikal Bridges and we can get Jimmy Butler and don't have to give up our core guys, man, listen, eventually we're going to have to go for it. Like,
how about
all right, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, finish that.
Like, prime example, when Iguodala went to Golden State, people thought Iggy was finished. And look what happened, how he turned that around. So I'm saying that can be, Jimmy Butler can have that effect on a team. Look at the effect he's had on Miami. And them guys, like I said, them guys is undersized, undermanned. So imagine Jimmy Butler with a full good roster. I'm not saying Miami don't have a good roster, but them guys is little guys. Second round draft picks, guys that ain't been drafted. Imagine putting him on a team where it's fully loaded. So I look at it like that as well. And like I said, I revert back to when Iguodala came to Golden State. People thought Iggy was done. And the effect he had on them for those first couple years, he hit big shots offensively, and defensively he made big stops. But once again, that's a player that injury prone, didn't play a lot of games, and people thought he was finished. I'm just saying eventually, Fade, we're going to have to make a move. Like I said, if we stay healthy next year and we make a deep run, then okay. But if we can't stay healthy or an opportunity presents itself, we got to take full advantage, because I think we have a 3-year window where we can really win a championship.
No, I agree with that. The next 3 to 4 years, you have to go all in on the chemistry, and think about, like, does this player fit with this team? That's why we got Mikal Bridges by far number one at this point. He's gonna, you just slide him right into the team, into the garden. He makes the most sense. Number 2 is where we go Jimmy Butler, Devin Booker, or Donovan Mitchell. And I think Donovan Mitchell has the best attitude out of those 3 for the number 2 spot. Like, who do we want? Who do we rank first? Is Bridges?
I'm taking Devin Booker that second. If the second option is Butler, Booker, or Donovan Mitchell, I'm going Devin Booker, bro. I'm sorry. I love Devin Booker's attitude. I'm being honest. I love his attitude. I think he's in a bad situation. As much as, like I said, I was high on Phoenix, because when you have those caliber type of players together, you got to be high on that. But I'm being honest. I don't think it's easy to play with KD right now at this age. Bradley Beal is in and out the lineup. Listen, I would love Devin Booker over here with us. He's a dog, man. I'm sorry. And he's a scoring machine.
I think I agree with that, Because what I was gonna say was Donovan Mitchell. I think attitude-wise, he fits in better. He feels like the college kid that went to school. I don't even know what school he went to, but it seems like he went to school with them. He just comes off that way, especially wants to be in New York. The wanting to be here part is important. I don't know if Devin Booker wants to be in New York. He could go anywhere because he's a star like that. At this point, they're in Kardashians and
right. You want to hear what I gotta say? I think everybody want to be in New York. People just scared to say it because they still thinking this. I'm being honest, bro. I think a lot of people come to New York, but they scared of the backlash. That's my honest opinion.
You can thank Phil Jackson for not having Booker. We missed him in the draft. Who do we draft? Kevin Knox or something like that? I think. Yeah. Nah, I still think they want to. And he's gonna hear about it from KD. KD can pitch New York to him, and now KD has changed his tune about New York, so he must be telling Devin Booker some great things about us. Oh, great point, Knicks GM. It's the taxes, man. Nah, you can't say that. LeBron's in Cali, bro. So whatever, if they're avoiding their taxes, I'm gonna snitch on them. If they're avoiding their taxes, they got to figure that out over here. But our taxes ain't worse than California.
Yeah, but see, everybody always want to make an excuse for us to get good players. It's always something. Nah, bro, don't worry about that. All that is taxes. And see what I'm saying? See that's the problem. Everybody wants every other team to be great except the Knicks. It's always an excuse when it comes to our Knicks. Always. I don't want to hear all that. Listen, you put Devin Booker in New York, the guard is going to be out of control. Simple and plain.
I think we can end it with that. Kevin Durant would fly to New York tomorrow if he could. He might. To be honest, he would fit here crazy. Nah, I don't know. I don't even know about that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Maybe it's a 3-and-D guy. It makes sense. But I think we're gonna end with that. On that note, all ball. California offers automatic endorsements. You can make up the taxes. You think New York doesn't offer endorsements, Knicks GM? Like Knicks GM. I don't know if you're from New York, but there's a lot that happens over here. There's a lot that takes place in this town, baby Bubba. New York don't have movie screens like that. Man, listen. And who does Devin Booker think he is? What movie role is he up for? Knicks GM, don't go crazy. Hey, before you go, tell AllBall Shaq averaged more blocks than Wemby in his rookie season. Did he? He averaged more than three blocks a game. Let's look it up, Shaq. I know he averaged the most rebounds of his career his first or second year. Let's see. Shaq averaged 3.5 blocks per game. That's the most he averaged for his career. Let's not hope Shaq goes downhill after that. Yeah, 13.9. I want to say 13.9. That's the most rebounds and blocks he's ever averaged. Young Shaq, when he came to the league, was a monster, man. He was like Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, Fab. You think so? Listen, man, I think that we got connections in New York. We got like Costa Nostra over here, next GM. But there got to be a reason why people avoided it. Some of it was James Dolan. You got to be willing to play ball with these guys, man. They're in the mix. The ball players are in the mix, man. They in the streets too, bro. They talk to the rappers. They in the like they go to LA. They don't want to get robbed. You saw what Shaq told Allen Iverson? Or AI said every time I went out there, Shaq would tuck my chain in. These guys are in the mix. They know what's going on. So trust you and me, there's money to be made in New York City. I don't care what they tell you on the news. And if you're worth that much of an endorsement, Jalen Brunson's going to make a lot more money in endorsements here than he would have in Dallas or California. I don't care what movies you going for, Jalen Brunson. No disrespect to you. The Roommate movie? You doing that again? Come on, man. Come on, man. Fabian perspective, expected, so accepted. It's not, I'm not just taxes, it's all cost of living. I mean, cost of living here, come on. You know that's crazy. But Cali is not crazy. Listen, man, knock it off. Cali's nuts. Fabian perspective, expected, so accepted. They don't like comentario y subscribe. Internet certainly changed all that. Holla at y'all later, man. You know what time it is, baby bubba. AllBall TV. You already know the motto. They scared, but I'm not.